You are empowering and protecting artisans through fair trade principles.
You're creating this amazing sisterhood where you love and support each other.
You are finding purpose, fulfillment, and a flexible way to show up and bless your own family.
You're offering opportunities to mothers so that they can keep their babies and care for their families.
There's nothing I want more to see you high and lifted up. There's nothing more powerful than your name, your name. There's nothing I want more to see you high and lifted up. There's nothing more powerful than your name, your name. You're my victory, reason why I sing everything I need. There's no other name that deserves all praise. You're my victory. You're my victory, reason why I sing everything I need. There's no other name that deserves all praise. You're my victory. There's nothing I want more to see you high and lifted up. There's nothing more powerful than your name, your name. There's nothing I want more to see you high and lifted up. There's nothing more powerful than your name, your name.
Hi, compassionate entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for joining us today at Rise. The work you are doing is so purposeful. Last year, you worked and gave of yourself so that other women could rise out of poverty. You shared our artisan stories and marketed their handmade products so that they could feed, clothe, and educate their children. You have amazing hearts, and we love partnering with you to change lives around the world. So it's our desire to support you and keep you in the loop for our vision for 2019 at Trades of Hope. Our hope is that at this event, you can gather together and get to know other compassionate entrepreneurs in your area. Also, we know that not everyone can fly to an event for the weekend, so this year, we wanted to make sure everyone could be included. I love that we can all learn, grow, and prepare for this year together.
We hope that you're getting to know each other better today and having fun spending some quality time with one another. We have lots of fun things to share with you all, from new product news, fashion information, and some of our artisan leaders even creating a special message just for you. On top of all of that, we have business training, personal development, and a few worksheets so you can collaborate and envision the year that you want to see for you and your family. We hope that you're loving the new products in the beautiful spring catalog. The artisans have been working so hard on these new items since last spring, and now we are happy that we've gotten to share them with you. 2018 was great, but we think 2019 is going to be even better.
We stepped back to take some time to dream and pray about where God is leading Trades of Hope. Over 13,000 lives are touched by this missional business each year, and there are so many other women who are waiting to partner with you. Because Trades of Hope is so much bigger than any one of us, as a team, we needed to have clarity and vision for the future. And today, we want to share that vision with the sisterhood as a whole, and of course, that means with each of you. This year, we have 4 primary areas that we're going to focus on developing. We're going to work on the home team, messaging and branding, the new CE experience, and our Trades of Hope products. We thought we would share about each of those 4 points with you today. First, let's talk about the home team. We want to create a team of excellence. We love our home team, and I know many of you feel the same way. We all started by learning together. Our team has really been built by scrappy determination and a lot of Googling. But we've seen by bringing in people with experience and specialized knowledge that we're able to take things to the next level. Jeremy and Roxana have really helped stretch and challenge our current team as a whole, and it's really our strong desire to continue that process throughout this year. Sometimes that means hiring new key people, and others it means that we are going to outsource and bring in some talented people for just a season. Having new talent is necessary to continue to grow Trades of Hope, and the current team learns and is invigorated by new people and fresh ideas. Our goal is to have a high-capacity, self-driven team who can create data-driven strategy and quickly solve any issues that might arise. First and foremost, we want our home team to always be passionate about our mission. We also want them to love coming to work each day to help you as compassionate entrepreneurs and our artisans.
Talking about helping you compassionate entrepreneurs and our artisans, we are elated about some branding and messaging developments that we are implementing in 2019. It's no secret to those who know me that I love branding and messaging. My 2 degrees in communication proves it. So I've been nerding out a little bit the last several months on our strategies in this area for this year. I've been working with a couple of dreamy, creative communication strategists. These 2 women branded one of my favorite direct sales companies, a company that I have admired and have drawn inspiration from since we founded Trades of Hope. Seriously, they were my work crushes for the longest time, and a few years ago, I met them at one of our annual Direct Selling Association conferences. So to be working with them the last few months on our plan for 2019 has been a dream. If you were to tell me 8 years ago that I would be hopping on calls and collaborating with these women for Trades of Hope, I wouldn't have believed you. They are the real deal. Let's go over our plans for our branding and messaging development in 2019. All developments have been prioritized to address concerns that we've heard from you, our compassionate entrepreneurs, and to remain relevant in an ever-changing market. Among other facets, there are 2 major areas of development that I want to talk about now with you. First, we will focus on clearly communicating our mission and causes. Through surveys and feedback, we've heard that sometimes CEs don't even know what our mission is or what we do. That's crazy. But we recognize that by having a big vision and a big mission, some of our language can be vague and unclear. But we know that we can keep our vision and mission exactly the same, just as amazing as it is now, but develop a communication hierarchy and strategy to capture customers more for our mission. This means leading with terminology that's more specific than just poverty and strategizing which of the many causes we communicate more than others. Don't worry, we're not doing less. Nothing's been taken away or not being shared. But by being more specific and choosing which causes we lead with communication-wise, we can actually be able to do more good as more women join our teams because they have a better understanding of how exactly we are changing lives. These changes will also help tell the stories of our artisans more strategically so we can advocate for them more effectively. Second, we will be working on redefining how we communicate our business model. The business model is not changing, and we will not be ashamed of having a direct selling model. The fact that together we've created a beautiful community of women who want to team up together to change the communities of artisan women around the world is one of our dreams come true. My favorite part about Trades of Hope is the dignified partnership that you are in with our artisans, and we will not be quiet about that. In fact, the developments that we will make will emphasize that partnership you're in and bring more women on board. The thing is, we don't want people to think that direct selling is what we do. We are employing women, cultivating equality, helping mothers keep their babies, protecting women from sex trafficking. Do you think of those amazing advances when you think of the terms direct selling? No, I didn't think so. We are changing lives. Our business model is simply the vehicle in how we do what we do. So we want to take back direct sales and redefine it for us, for Trades of Hope. We've heard from you compassionate entrepreneurs that you feel the negative association with direct selling is a hindrance in your business, that you almost feel that if we sold in a different way, then we could help more artisans. Well, we believe in this business model's sustainability and powerful community. We don't need to change our business model, we just need to change how we talk about it. Therefore, there will be some terminology changes. We don't want to be in competition with all the other direct selling companies that say, shop, post, join on everything. We are different, so we are going to speak differently about the same amazing things we've done from the very beginning. There will be a beautiful emphasis put on your partnership with our artisans this year. I'm going to give you a little snippet of some of the body copy that we have drafted, and it warms my heart. We earn together, we support each other, we provide for our families, we restore each other's confidence. We remind each other of our purpose, our worth. We give each other dignity. We have the same needs, the same values, the same hopes. We just have different circumstances. We are kindred spirits, and now we are friends. This is our heartbeat of who we are. And regardless of any changes, This is who we will always be. The developments we make on our end will be with our artisans and compassionate entrepreneurs in mind. One goal in all of this is to be a model of how you can communicate about your business as well. The changes we will make will be our suggestion and vision, but I want you to know that what's most important about how you talk about your business is that you are passionate about it. Call your parties whatever you want to call them. Share the cause or story that captured your heart and led you into the sisterhood. The branding and messaging developments that we make in 2019 will have the whole big picture in mind. But never forget that your Trades of Hope business is your business and it can be done your way. Always lead with your passion. We cannot wait to show you what's up our sleeve for 2019. Our brand will be strong, bold, confident, modern, and relevant. But the most important part, it'll reach more women to join your teams and help change the lives of more artisans in need around the world like never before.
We want being a compassionate entrepreneur to be so purposeful, but also really fun. We know that you are busy, ladies, and those that you sponsor are busy too. The experience that new CEs have when they first get started is so important to us. We want to give this a lot of attention to see how we can make the whole process not seem like a whole process. We want it to feel as simple and as enjoyable as possible. So we have some plans to pull in some experienced people with fresh eyes to help us in the coming weeks. Our app has had some big upgrades that we think you're going to love. On the menu, you'll see that we moved the calendar to the very top to make it easier to find. We've also put a link for the home team updates right beneath it. This keeps the information you need right at your fingertips. And if you haven't started using it regularly, I think you'll find it's going to be super helpful. And make sure you turn on your notifications so you see what we are sending you. For new CEs, we are sending out some short training videos. But for all of you, we'll be using it as a way to easily market your business throughout the entire year. There's some really exciting updates we'll be sending you, so make sure to look out for them. There's also some new ways to organize your information and even help with hostess coaching. Once we get a few things finalized, we'll even have a short training to highlight all of these new features and how you can use them. We'll be continuing to reconfigure your dashboard in your back office, and as a whole, the back office and the toolbox will be getting an entire facelift. It's our desire to give you the information you need, but in a really simple way that's easy for you to find. We've also begun to create something we're calling Snap Sheets. These are one-page PDFs that are simple how-tos. The first ones that we've made for you are all about sponsoring and getting started as a new CE. These are all examples of tools and tweaks we'll be making to help you and your teams and your new CEs be more confident to take action right alongside you and our artisans.
The other key area that we want to continue to develop is our product line. Several years ago, we had an event here at the home office where we had a new line of products that we just released. They were displayed beautifully on the table, but we completely forgot to mention the products. We didn't even realize until we were cleaning up. Like, what? We had launched a new line of 25 products, brought everyone in together to unveil it, and then we didn't talk about the products once. We talked about the mission and shared really good artisan stories. But as we know, the products that we sell at Trades of Hope, that's how we accomplish our mission. When we first started, we would look at emails of pictures that the artisans sent, and we would choose what we liked best from what we knew they could make already. Over time, this has evolved into Trades of Hope working with the artisans to create our own designs. This takes time with geography, language, and even some time zone barriers, but in a way it takes the burden off the artisans of trying to figure out what we might want to buy from them. Now it's a true collaboration that is continuing to develop. This year, we're even bringing in some designers from New York who will help create some small collections guided by Roxana. We're also looking at designing our own fabric and our own basket weaving patterns. We're at a point where we are committed to continuously improving our design and our quality. We continue to put standards in place for metals, jewelry coatings, clasps, materials, and stitching styles. We now have lists of things that we don't even want to use in the products. Certain things like types of fabric, leather, certain beads. Overall, you're going to continue to see quality rise. Now, that doesn't mean everything's going to get more expensive at Trades of Hope. And in fact, I want to show you our buying plan. This triangle represents a typical business's buying plan in any industry. It's how Trades of Hope has operated in the past. It's where more than half of everything is offered at the lowest price points. For businesses, the hope is that this entry-level point will lead customers to buying the more expensive offerings as well. This shape is actually what we're seeing from other party plan companies that are somewhat comparable to us. Most of their products are in the mid to high price point level with a smaller entry-level offering. After 8 years of getting to know all of you, we don't want to go with this model. It isn't our goal to make everything more expensive at Trades of Hope. But the reality is you work just as hard and it takes just as much time to sell a $20 item as it does a $100 item. With the $20 item, you earn $5. And with the $100 item, you earn at least $25. And of course, the artisan's pay is adjusted accordingly as well. It takes a lot more work to make an Alden bag than it does a pair of tri-leaf earrings. So the model that we want to go towards over time is like a house, where the entry point, meaning the less expensive items, it will still be broad. There will be more items that are $50 and above though, because we want to continually bring up some of those higher end pieces. And this doesn't mean that everything is going to get more expensive. It just means that there will be more choices. Our goal is to create a lovely line of products that you and your customers adore so that our artisans have much more work and they can add more people to their groups. So this year, you're going to see not only our lovely spring line, but there are some new products scattered throughout the whole year. In addition to our summer line in May with about 12 pieces and our typical fall catalog offering in August, Roxana and her team are putting together something we're calling capsule collections. Each collection will have 3 to 6 items that will go really well together. And some of them even have some new product categories that you've never seen before at Trades of Hope. We want the products to be products that you love to share and that we can all be super proud of. Our first goal, however, will always be to offer jobs and opportunities for our current artisans and create more opportunities for those who will come to work for Trades of Hope in the future. It would be easier for all of us if we were just willing to keep the size of Trades of Hope as it is today. It's actually a successful, healthy business, but we know there are so many more men and women who need jobs to be able to care for their children. So our prayer is that as you grow your own business, the number of compassionate entrepreneurs grow, and then the number of artisans grow, because that's how together we are positively going to affect the lives of thousands and thousands of more people this year.
Now we have a very special message just for you compassionate entrepreneurs from Shelly, one of our artisan group leaders in Haiti. She's going to tell you a little bit about her story and the change that you are making in Haiti.
Hey there, this is Shelly from Papillon Marketplace, and I'm here in Florida today to just talk to you and express to you the gratefulness that we have in Haiti for the work that you do with Trades of Hope. We are so excited. It's been a tough year, we're not going to lie. There's been a lot of things that have happened this year that have made sales kind of, harder, and we all struggle to sell to meet the needs of these artisans, these precious artisans who are just trying to raise their kids and just be able to send them to school and pay for the basic needs that they have. And here we are, we're struggling, we're so passionate about getting those sales so that these women can have the opportunity that we want them to have. And this year, it's been tough, but the exciting thing is that in October, we were running almost at full capacity at Papillon down in Haiti, and it was such a relief to see so many artisans come back to work after a couple months of taking a break and not having enough work. And so when I fly in and out of Haiti, I can really see the difference. And to fly in October and just have the whole house be filled with people laughing, singing. I love it when they sing when they work. And just being so grateful for Trades of Hope. They know who Trades of Hope is. They know when they're working on Trades of Hope orders. And so when those orders come in and those pieces are being made, they are so grateful to Trades of Hope for what they do and for the continued sales and work that they're bringing. So in 2007, when I first was introduced to Haiti and came there for the first time, I spent a week in an orphanage. And during that time in the orphanage, there's just all these precious kids running around and clinging to me and wanting to be hugged and held. And my heart bleeds that these kids are without their parents in this orphanage. And during that week, I had this incredible epiphany as their mothers, their Haitian mothers, would come and knock at the gate. and bring them little treats and hugs and visit them. And it was the first time that I realized that these kids really are not orphans, they're more poor women's children. And my heart just did a flip-flop when I realized that for the first time. And I wanted so much to never have another woman in this world be put in that situation where they had to give their children up because they couldn't feed them, because they couldn't send them to school. A mother should not find it more difficult to find a job than to put their kids in an orphanage. And I know this isn't unique to Haiti. So here we are, 10 years later almost, and our whole mission has stayed the same, which is that we want to find those mothers, those fathers who are at such a place where they don't have any hope except for through a job. And we can step in that moment in time where they really need help and give them a job so that they can send their kids to school, raise them, and not have to make a terrible decision to put their kids in an orphanage. That's what we are about. And I know years and years ago when I met with Gretchen to talk about this idea of job creation, and both of us had experiences with orphanages and seen firsthand mothers having to relinquish their kids and the tears that are falling when they do. We both, as mothers, want to come alongside other mothers in this world and never let that happen again. So here we are creating jobs for moms and dads for us, and wanting to just give them the opportunity that we would all want as mothers. So I just want to encourage you today to just go out there and just have these ladies, faces in your minds as you're selling, knowing that you are making a difference when you sell. Every single purchase has a purpose, and every single purchase has an impact. And I just want to thank you for your faithfulness and your kindness and the concern you have for people in this world, that you would do something like this instead of get some other job. And just want to thank you and encourage you, and hopefully next year will be even better.
One booking tip that I want to give you is come up with some themes for your hostess when you ask them to host. I wrote down fun little themes along with a date on these little cards, like a winter brunch, or Hearts to End Poverty in February, or Love is in the Air in February. You can come up with that fun idea, and oftentimes that's just what the hostess needs to imagine herself putting on this amazing party.
I offer my hostesses a 3 booking incentive for when she has 3 dated and qualified bookings from her party. I give her a choice of 3 different bags, and I send it to her ahead of time, so she's already working on getting those bookings before I arrive. If she doesn't get them at her party, then she has the opportunity to work on it after her party, and she can always be her own 3rd booking. Remember, she doesn't get this bag until all 3 parties have held and qualified.
I like to talk about the ripple effect. So during the party, I say, of course, I hope some of you book. And if you book, it's not just your party that you're saying yes to, but that it's your sister might book off you. And then her coworker might book. And that coworker's neighbor might book. And that neighbor's dentist's mother-in-law might book. And so the ripple effect that you can have for our artisans by saying yes is exponential.
Give your potential hostess 2 concrete dates to choose from. Remember that most people are viewing your booking request on their phones. They're typing with their thumbs and they want to be able to respond quickly and easily. So always offer your next 2 dates. Close your request with, my next 2 dates are January 25th and 27th. Which one will be better for you? If they can't do those dates, don't worry, they'll tell you.
I have a booking tip that has helped make it easier for me to ask women to host, and I think easier for them to hear it. As they're checking out at my parties, I usually ask, do you know of any groups of women who would enjoy hearing about the Trades of Hope mission? Or would you like to host a party with your circle of friends, either at your home or church or otherwise? And I find that those who would automatically say no to the hosting at home will sometimes come up with groups. And it's allowed me to be in groups like Speaking to Girl Scouts, the Optimist Club, Girls Inc. here, different church events, book clubs. So it's put me in different circles, and it's just sort of an easier way to ask rather than, do you want to host with me?
Next, we have a really fun activity that I believe will be really powerful for your business. We want each of you to take a moment and reflect on the why and the passion that you had when you started as a compassionate entrepreneur. When you first learned about Trades of Hope, what artisan story resonated with you? What cause or mission tugged at your heartstrings, so much so that you wanted to join the sisterhood? We want you to write on your piece of paper in front of you that story that you had, those feelings when you first learned about the opportunity about being a compassion entrepreneur. What moved you to say yes? Some compassion entrepreneurs say that they help mothers keep their babies. Some say, I empower women so that you don't have to be a part of the sex trade. Whatever that passion is that you have, lead with that. Always lead with your why and always lead with your passion. Because your business will always have highs and lows. That's extremely normal in any business. But that passion that you have for women around the world, for children, for families, that will sustain you through all of it. I hope that time of reflection and writing was very powerful for you. No matter what we as a company say, remember that your Trades of Hope business is your business and you get to talk about it through your passion and your why. Everyone's passion, every CE's passion is different. So it's important to remember why you joined and to lead with that every single day in your business to empower more women.
Hi, welcome to Designs of Hope for Spring 2019. My name is Roxana, this is Rachel, and as you can see, we're trying something different in this episode and we hope you like it. We're showcasing our new designs on body in real lifestyle situations. You know, we had a lot of fun designing Spring 2019, and in fact, with all the stylish influences of bright, happy colors, patterns, prints, and even stripes. That's right, my favorite pattern of the season is what I'm wearing. And though we have a couple of colorful pieces within the assortment, we also want to incorporate our designs with the bright, happy colors of the spring season that's coming out in clothing. So bear that in mind when you put on your outfits.
That's right. All the designs we're about to show you on the models really start with our concept boards. Each season, we design concept boards to help us tell a more cohesive story. And it's quite the challenge when you think of all the countries we work with. This is our concept board for Spring 2019 called Eunoia. It means beautiful thinking, a well mind. What a perfect season to represent our beautiful product made by our beautiful artisans. So this is really our starting point, and then we design from there.
When we get to the point of developing the new catalog, we made sure the concept of Eunoia was developed and incorporated throughout. In fact, we give you further guidance by actually handpicking all the outfits in each shot. But don't forget, this season is really all about how you put it together. So bear that in mind because you're going to have a lot of fun this spring season. So here we go. We have our home office models ready to show you our lifestyle outfits that represent many occasions that you are all familiar with.
First, we have Sydney, who is wearing a weekend casual look that we named Essentially Yours. This incorporates the Lavana necklace and earring. They both include ceramic beads, and the earrings have an unglazed bead that you can add essential oils to. Up next, we have Melissa, who is showcasing our beautifully bohemian pairing with the waterfall necklace from Uganda, the tassel set from Thailand, and the bohemian bag from India. And let's not forget our newest artisan group from Kenya, who made the trade bracelet, a fun mix that works so well together.
Now, Emily confidently wears our trade to work selections. The new Revival earrings from Haiti incorporate the trends of both hoops and natural horn elements. And we love this with our lava essence from Jordan. Remember, you can rub your favorite essential oils on the lava stones for a gentle aroma throughout the day. Finally, your Megan is wearing our Kenya Night Out. Now, Megan is wearing a natural dress, but any dress will do when you wear the Nairobi or Alisette. The combination of hammered discs and bone make for a classic but stylish collection. In this particular case, we layered 2 necklaces for one of the key trends of the season, layering. I also am wearing some of our new pieces from India. A rose gold collection that includes the Worthy necklace, made with sterling silver, and a rose quartz stone, as well as our hammered steadfast cuff.
And I love to wear the bold statement Ravi necklace with the belonging bracelet set, both from India. So we want to share with you some really exciting news. Our group in Pakistan, we are so proud of them. They have stepped into the world of jewelry. Introducing the Change earrings, which include the perfect combination of colors that carry you into summer. Some of our final jewelry pieces are the new paper bead bracelet set from Uganda called the Katie set, and our Jocelyn necklace with a sterling silver thumbprint that coordinates perfectly with the imprint earrings from Guatemala. Finally, let's talk about some of our new home designs. We added a faith bowl to our popular Hope and Love bowls to complete the set, and I'm super excited about adding a new category with the Embrace Throw, a cotton herringbone design that will match most decors. Plus, take a look at our newest crossbody, the Zuri, which looks great with denim. And we have a brand new wallet for men in black that is very polished, but still artisanal. All of these home pieces are from India.
Last but not least, we love our safari friends from India. Sure to make great gifts and decor for the adventurous, and they are so cute. We're excited to see how the season of A Beautiful Mind unfolds for you. Remember, our mission plus beautiful product plus artisan made equals Trades of Hope. So come join us on this next journey of telling the stories and celebrating the artisans of spring 2019.
Thank you so much for joining Roxana and I. We hope to see you next time on Designs of Hope and can't wait to see you wearing some of these beautiful spring 2019 products. Bye.
I hope you love the new line as much as we do. It is gorgeous. I'm so excited to be with all of you amazing compassion entrepreneurs for our Rise event. As we rise, we want to help others rise with us, those on our team, and of course our artisans. To do this, we need to have the right mindset. There are two main mindsets that people have. The first is a fixed mindset, which is a negative mindset and it will limit you. And the second is a growth mindset, which is a positive mindset and it will cause you to grow. The fixed mindset says, I was born this way, this is how I was made, and I can't change. The growth mindset says, I have the ability to rise up and figure out anything. I can learn new skills and talents that I never had before. I can change. Now, as you can imagine, anyone who wants to be a success needs to have a growth mindset. And although many of us would say we have a growth mindset, a lot of us actually act day in and day out in a fixed negative mindset that tells us we can't learn new things. Our words may say that, but our actions do. So the first thing I want you to do is to identify what kind of mindset do you have? Do you tell yourself things like, I can't make director, I don't have the time, the ability to learn it and to reach that kind of rank. It's just too difficult. Or maybe you say, I can't sell, or I don't like public speaking, so I'll never get very far. Or maybe you're saying, I'm not an organized person, so I'll never earn the income I want. If you're saying anything like that, this is you working off of a fixed negative mindset. We want our self-talk to be positive and be a growth mindset instead, which should sound like this. I don't know how to build a system to follow up on my customers, but I can Google it, and I can learn from others who've done it and grown their business. And you say things like, I've never spoken in front of people or a large group, but I'll listen to some TED Talks and learn, and I'll ask a good speaker to mentor me, and I'll get better and better each time I do it. I will make director. This type of growth, self-talk, turns fear into excitement. When I'm afraid, I remind myself that fear and excitement sit side by side on the bus. I choose to sit with excitement and not fear, and you can too. You see, attitude and perspective change everything. So how do you get a growth mindset? First, you choose it. Yes, I said choose it. You choose to believe that you have the ability to figure things out that enables you to keep going when things get hard and you want to quit. The only people who fail are the ones who stop trying. I'm sure you would tell your kids not to give up and that they can do anything they set their mind to. Well, guess what? You need to believe that too about yourself. So the first step to retraining your brain is to recognize the negative talk and to capture it and to replace it with the truth. Yes, I said truth. With all my heart, I believe you can do so much more than you could ever hope or imagine. You have to retrain the neural pathways of your brain when you hear negative statements coming into your mind. Your brain pathways are used to falling into this rut, just like a car on a bumpy road. It naturally goes to where it's been over and over again, where it's comfortable and where there's a groove. Same with your brain. The problem is our actions follow our mind. So you won't even try to step out because your mind is saying, this isn't gonna work, so why bother trying? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you don't see it, you don't expect it, and you certainly don't step into opportunity. You've trained your mind to not even see it, even when it's right in front of you. Another step in overcoming the fixed negative mindset is to repeat affirmations of truth to yourself. It really works. I keep affirmations on my mirror and I speak them over my life and over myself in the morning. They remind me of God's truth and who He says I am, even when I'm struggling to believe it. Things like, I'm wonderfully made, and I have gifts that belong to Him, and He wants to use me, and I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. When I remind myself of that, and that negative talk creeps in, I think, how dare I say I can't, because that's really saying God can't. Those are just a couple of my affirmations that I say to myself daily, so I want to challenge you to come up with your own affirmations. Put them on your mirror and repeat them to yourself so you can walk in truth. I'm sure you've heard that if you believe you can't, it's true, you can't. And if you believe you can, it's true, you can. You get to decide who you want to be and if you're going to think positive thoughts or negative thoughts. So which is it going to be? A positive growth mindset or a negative fixed mindset? Well, of course you're going to choose the growth mindset. You don't want to miss all God has for you. Now, once you start walking in that, you're going to see that you open yourself up to all God has for you. And you'll see success in your relationships, in your marriage, and in your Trades of Hope business. It's true. I'm living proof.
When I was home recently with my mom and dad, my mom gave me this letter that I wrote to them when I was just 19 years old. And this is what it says. It says, I'm driving poor Mike crazy. Within the past month, I've gone to the library 6 times to get books on starting my own business. I'm always thinking of what kind of business I could start that will help people. I really wonder why God has put all this in my life. I know that He is going to use it for good one day. I wish one thing. I wish just one of my dreams could come true. I start a million new ideas, but I never finish one. If I could just start something. I know God made me this way. I know He wants to use me. I know it's for a reason. I know He has great things for me in my future. When I do God's work, I feel content, and that's about the only time. Boy, I haven't changed a bit. We started Trades of Hope 20 years after that was written. I wanted to encourage you to never give up believing in your dreams. I chose to have a growth mindset at 19, and I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that to prove to you that this average C student who is never going to be the person voted most likely to succeed, but more likely to be the person to get kicked out of school, if I can do something significant that changes the world, so can you. But it didn't just happen. It took belief and it took action. I was at the library weekly, taking out books on entrepreneurship, learning, and growing. And now, there's no excuse, because now you don't even have to go to the library. It's all at your fingertips with Google. And I was seeking God, and I learned to walk in belief. What are you walking in? I believe everyone has greatness, and that God has a plan for you. But you can't get there unless you're willing to grow to be all you were created to be. You have unlimited potential. Honor that potential, believe in it, and act in it. All right, I have one last challenge for you. Create a routine of self-development. You know where you need to grow to be successful in your business and in your life. You need to create your own curriculum, not wait for someone else to do it for you. My daily routine is that I spend time in prayer and gratitude with God every day, and I spend at least 15 minutes a day on self-development. I'm always learning something new, and then, this is very important here, put it into practice. Knowledge can't transform your life, action does. Here are some ways that you can take action and start growing today. 1, find a mentor, someone you respect that shares the same values as you. And they're where you want to be with your business, your marriage, your family, and your finances. Ask if they'll meet with you once a month and be ready to ask them questions on how they got where they are and put into practice what they say to you. If you don't have access to somebody like that, then what's really cool with the internet is you can follow people on social media that you admire and respect. I regularly listen to podcasts and audiobooks, TED Talks, YouTubes, and vlogs, and follow people that I respect. Now, you might say, Holly, I don't have time for that. This is where the determined and the disciplined break away from the pack. To rise up and live out your destiny, you have to let go of the things that steal your time, like mindless searching social media, watching TV, following or hanging with people who don't add value to your life and tear you down. I listen to podcasts when I'm biking or exercising, and I do that rather than music. Now, I love music, but listening to the same song over and over again isn't going to activate my growth. So I sacrifice for growth. You can learn when you're in the carpool line or on your drive to work. I listen when I'm putting on my makeup and getting ready in the morning. You can listen or read when you're having your morning coffee. Let me just say a warning, though. Information without action is pointless. Too many people take in a fire hydrant of information, but never put it into action in their business. If information doesn't change you, it's useless. And you have to be willing to get outside of your comfort zone. I'll tell you a secret. Miracles happen when we step into the uncomfortable. Commit to a growth mindset and creating a routine of self-development and putting it into practice. Then you'll become all you were created to be, a true world changer. We're so proud of you. And we're so proud of the lives that you're changing. We love you and we're praying for you. Now, this next speaker I met while visiting the brothels in Asia. She is smart and articulate and has such a love for the women she ministers to. I love that she isn't just about rescuing them from the brothels, but about giving them skills they never knew they could have, creating dignity and more opportunity than they ever dreamed possible. Talk about seeing lives transformed. Welcome, Virginia.
Hi, Compassionate Entrepreneurs. My name is Virginia, and I work with one of the artisan groups that you guys support at Trades of Hope. And I am so happy. Sorry, I just bumped the table. I'm so excited to be with y'all, sort of, here at the Rise conference. This is such a special event. I've gotten to come in person before, and I am so grateful that the Trades of Hope team asked me to record this video for you. And I wish I could be there in person, but this is the best I can do. And so I'm excited to share with y'all about what's going on with my particular artisan group and give you some thoughts about your work as compassionate entrepreneurs. So, first of all, I'm recording this. I know y'all are meeting. I know it's January and y'all are probably in Florida. So y'all are warm, but it's not warm where I am. It is almost Christmas time and, we're in the thick of Christmas craziness, which I'm sure you remember. So, all the things for all of the children and all of the gifts and all the dropping things off and picking things up and school being out and all the craziness around the holidays is in full swing for me. And as I've taken some time to reflect at the end of the year, I've thought a lot about the compassionate entrepreneurs and not just Trades of Hope as a client, as a client places purchase orders who I prepare inventory for and pricing for and things like that. But thinking about you, thinking about the compassionate entrepreneur who is taking that inventory that when I'm looking at the thousands of units that Trades of Hope orders, but you're looking at one piece, right? One sample at your home party, and you're thinking about your small group friend who's coming over and hosting the party, and her friend from college who's coming to the party and hopefully buying that one piece of jewelry after looking at your sample. I'm thinking about all those people, and I'm so grateful for each of them. And I have spent a lot of time reflecting on what an amazing partnership we have with Trades of Hope. And I'm just so excited that I get to be with y'all at Rise, sort of with you. Again, I know it's not totally legit, but I want y'all to know I've been reflecting on each of you and the role that you play with our artisan group, and I want you to know how grateful we are for y'all. All right, so here's a fun update about the group I work with. So we are based in Asia, and we work with sex trafficking victims and sexually exploited women. And a lot of times they have children. And so we have the privilege of having them live in our shelter, often with their children, or sometimes we put them in their own housing. And they come to our office and they make jewelry, but they don't just make it with their hands. They also learn how to do sourcing, and they learn how to do packaging and shipping and quality control and photography and accounting and all kinds of higher level skills, so that when they leave our artisan group, they don't just have to go get a job in a factory somewhere, but they can get a job as a photographer or as an accountant or as a manager of a sourcing operation. So they can do a lot of stuff after working with us because we have the large volume orders from Trades of Hope and other clients like that. We have a large enough volume that they can learn those higher level skills. And so it's so exciting to watch a woman come in. What we do is we go out into brothels every week. Holly and Mike got to come visit us, and they got to go see it for themselves. So we go out into the brothels every week, and we visit the women there and get to know them. And after a period of weeks or months, however long it takes to get to know them, we invite them to come live with us in our shelter and take a job as our employee. And we actually call it employee housing at the beginning because that would be a normal job perk in the country where we work. And so they come to the shelter, and it's way more than they could expect. So anyway, when they leave the brothel, they typically have a grocery sack, like the plastic kind that are illegal, I feel like, somewhere places in the US now. But those plastic grocery sacks, they'll have one of those, and it'll have all their possessions in it. And that could be things like maybe a change of clothes. They're typically wearing somewhat risque clothing. So they might have a change of clothes. They might have like one or two trinkets, like things. It reminds me actually of when I was in middle school, and my mom would make me clean out my room, and I have like little trinkets. Like they'll have stuff like that. But they really don't have any stuff. They don't have any furniture. Sometimes they don't even have a toothbrush. They don't even have the normal necessities of day-to-day life. And they move into our shelter, and we give them this heart-shaped pink box. And in that box, it has everything they could need. It has new pajamas, it has shampoo and conditioner, it has chopsticks and fork and spoon, and it has all the basic necessities you need for day-to-day life. And then they join our, at the same time, when they move into our shelter, they take a job making jewelry. And so the first thing they do is join our production team. So for Trades of Hope order, that would mean, assembling that jewelry and putting it together. And then hopefully over time, and with counseling and with classes and learning how to be a high functioning adult person, they move up in our program. And it's so fun. It's such a beautiful thing. So we have a woman that, we were going to visit these brothels every week, and we'll see these women for weeks and weeks and weeks. And they're in this terrible circumstance. And we see them start out in that place. And on their first day, when they come join us, they look terrible. They're in terrible shape, terrible physical shape, terrible. I mean, they look and feel, they don't look whole. They don't feel whole. And we get to watch them really blossom over the course of several months and a couple years to become these healthy, amazing, contributing women. It is the most beautiful, amazing thing. And a lot of times we get to see their children experience the same transformation from living in an unsafe environment where they don't get contact with their parents, don't get to go to school, where when they join us, their kids get to live with them and they go to a parenting class and learn how to discipline, and their kids go to school. And it is beautiful. It is so beautiful. Oh, it is the best. I wish that every single one of you could come visit. It is so much fun to watch that transformation happen. And so anyway, as I've been thinking about that and reflecting on all the different things that have happened this year at our artisan group for our artisans, amazing things have happened this year with them. And as I've thought about that, and as I reflect on how that's possible, I have thought about your small group friends, college roommate who's coming to your party, and you're holding up your sample and you're showing it to her, and you're thinking through the outfit it would match for her, or the teacher gift it might be for her, or the wherever she's going to take it, right? Whatever moment it's going to be part of in her life. And I've thought about y'all, and I want you to know how I know that you guys live in the United States. You may or may not be married with children. You might be fully employed. This might be your only thing. This might be a side thing for you. You might live in California or New York or Kansas or anywhere in the U.S. I know y'all have all different lives that look really different. But you don't live in Asia, right? You don't get to go to the brothel every week. You don't get to make eye contact with those women and watch that transformation happen up close. I wish you could, but that's not where you are, right? You have a normal life that you're living in the U.S., which is great. And I want you to know, if I could do one thing for y'all in this RISE conference, I would like for you guys to understand that when you go and you text your college roommate's friend who just moved to your city and invite her to the party, you are making a real difference for these women who are living in a brothel. And you are making it possible for my outreach teams at my artisan group, the place where I work. You're making it possible for us to invite those women to experience freedom for the first time. And when you are inviting your next door neighbor to become a compassionate entrepreneur and be part of your team, and you're spending those late night texts telling her like, oh, this customer service issue, like, how do we deal with that? And you're telling her what to say, and you're dealing with, the customer didn't get the color they wanted, or, the shipment is delayed and they're out of stock, and so they have to wait on it, but their birthday's next week. What should they do? These are the questions that you're dealing with in the day-to-day life, in the middle of your dog barking and needing to go to the vet, and your pile of laundry is beeping. I recently left laundry in the dryer for 4 days. And I thought about y'all in that moment. I was like, the compassionate entrepreneurs are not only changing their laundry, they're like texting a customer while they're dealing with this laundry. And I was just thinking of y'all and thinking how grateful I am. And that I wish you could see, and I hope that you know from this video, I hope that you know that when you pull that stuff out of the dryer and you text back that compassionate entrepreneur who just joined your team and are helping her with her customer service issue, that because you do that, there is a woman in Asia who gets to, for the very first time, live with her child, send her child to school, who gets to learn how to discipline her kid, gets to learn how to take photos, and gets to live a dignified and normal life, really for the first time ever. She gets to have options and choices and live in freedom because you show up in the ways that you can. And so I want you to know that the way that you show up as a compassionate entrepreneur, whether that's hosting parties, whether that's dealing with customers, whether that's recruiting new compassionate entrepreneurs, all those ways that you show up that take a lot of time and energy away from things you could be doing, right? It's a huge sacrifice for each of you, and it looks different for each of you. I want you to know those sacrifices really, really mean something to these women on the other side of the world. It is 8,000 miles from where I'm from to where we work with these women in Asia. And that 8,000 miles is bridged by your late night texts to those customers. So anyway, okay, my video is supposed to be 10 minutes and I'm at 9:10. So I'm wrapping up. I want y'all to know we are so grateful for you. We could not do what we do with these trafficked women if you guys didn't show up. And so I really want you to know how grateful we are. We're just so thankful. So I hope you'll have a really fun time at RISE. I hope that this is a really encouraging time for you, that you feel re-energized and excited about the year. We have really ambitious goals this year. So I hope that you will set really ambitious goals this year so that we can meet ours, because we're really depending on you, really counting on you. Okay, I hope you'll have a great time this weekend. Love you guys. Bye.
Something we want to talk about now is the importance of dreaming big. We love dreaming at Trades of Hope, and we wouldn't be here today if we didn't dream big, wild, crazy dreams. But dreaming big isn't easy. You know what is easy? Allowing our dreams to be very realistic and ho-hum about the next year. I actually struggle with this myself. I'm a very realistic person, and sometimes my dreams don't really look like dreams at all.
But the purpose of a dream is that it's something big, an opportune moment full of positivity and growth, sometimes a little out of the ordinary too. I believe we all have big dreams and long-term goals, and I think you may even be working on some of those big dreams right now. They require regular, if not daily, actions to eventually come to fruition. But sometimes these dreams can lose their sizzle in the day-to-day mundaneness of our life, especially as we're building towards that goal. To combat the challenging periods in the building phase, I find this next exercise that I'm going to call the Dreaming Big exercise very helpful. It's the act of envisioning the future as if it's already happened out loud, in writing, or even in your head. It's almost like visualization, but with the added validation of thinking it's actually happened. We will write about the next year as if we were reflecting back on what's happened in the past. I want you to think hugely and fearlessly, weaving in big moments when certain things worked out for you or when you accomplished something amazing. This is helpful to do periodically, and some of you may have even done it before with us at Inspire. But since this is the start of a new year, we're going to start all together again by doing it in writing. So are you ready? I want you to get out your worksheet and start writing for a few minutes. This is so helpful for me. Pretend it's 1 year from today and you and I are meeting again. You haven't talked to me, your friend, the whole year, and I'm excited to hear how your year has been. So in your wildest dreams, how would you want your year to look? Include your business goals, your family goals, personal goals, and things you've only yet hoped would happen. All right, are you ready? Start dreaming.
All right, wasn't that fun? I want you to keep this sheet of paper and add to it if more dreams pop into your head, and remind yourself about it when the going gets tough. Even pray over it. Dreams take hard work to carry out, but if we keep them in front of ourselves and remind us of their importance, we are going to accomplish great things together. here, and I wanted to take a moment and talk about one of my favorite products from the Spring 2019 line. You probably already guessed it yet, but if you haven't, it is the Safari Friends set. There are 3 stuffed animals, a camel, a giraffe, and an elephant that are squishy, fun, colorful, and have lots of patterns on them. And Amelia loves them. She's been playing with them for the last week and thinks they are awesome because they have these really fun patterns and they're so colorful. You wanna play with them? There you go. Now they are made in India by women coming out of poverty. And so even though she's little, at night when she plays with them, I've been telling her stories about the different cultures they come from, making up fun names for them, and helping her get familiar with different countries so she can understand why we help women out of poverty all over the world. Women are being helped in India from this beautiful set. Women like Nanya, who have 4 children, and recently her husband became deceased and she wasn't able to make a fair wage at any other place, and she found the group that we work with and now is able to provide for her children, able to send them to school, and is planning for their future schooling and saving for their weddings, which in India is a huge deal because weddings are such a joyous celebration. So it makes my heart so happy having Amelia play with these toys and knowing that women like Nanya in India are crafting them, are being able to provide for their children, while I get to watch my child be so happy and play with the awesome Safari Friends set. I hope you like it as much as we do.
Say hi to all your Safari friends. Say bye, Mila. I love my Safari friends.
Was that not the cutest video that you've ever seen? I am thrilled to introduce a woman who has become a mentor and a friend to me. If you were at Inspire, you briefly met her already. But for those of you who weren't at Inspire, I want to introduce Milan Jensen. Milan has had loads of experience as a leader in the field. She's also had many years of experience on a corporate level. She speaks in front of tens of thousands of people, and she coaches one-on-one, developing friendships all along the way. Milan has such a huge heart. Her passion is to help women create a thriving business that they love. She's been a huge help to me personally, and to Trades of Hope, and even some of our leaders. And I am so grateful that she is willing to share with us today. Take it away, Milan.
It is so wonderful that we are all getting together like this in homes and in different venues all over the country to really rise together. And it's such an honor for me to be invited to be a part of this with all of you. So I want to thank Gretchen and everyone, all of you really, just for making me feel so welcome. So as Gretchen might have mentioned, I'm Milan Jensen, and I'm going to be sharing 3 things with you today. A little bit about my experience with Trades of Hope over this past year. We're going to talk a little bit about what some exciting things that are happening coming forward, and then we're going to do a fun exercise together, and then I'm going to wrap it up with some great messages from some leaders. So this community, for me, the experience I've had really started in meeting Gretchen through a mutual friend over a year ago, and just hearing her passion, and then discovering that that same passion existed in the other founders of Trades of Hope, in the entire staff of Trades of Hope, and then also as I got to meet the leaders. I think it's been almost a year now that I got to go to a retreat and work with them and meet them, and hear just the same desire and passion for the future and for the work that you do in their hearts. And then when I was at Inspire, it just kept growing as I met many of you who were there last year. So I want to thank you for sharing your hearts and your vision for the work that you do, and for the women and the children and the families that you serve. And I really have just discovered that there are so many things that are really unique and really magical about this community that you're a part of. And so I think the true spirit of empowerment that comes through love for humanity and the desire to support women and children and their families is what really brings this group together. And what's unique about it is that every piece, as I've had the joy of having, some of these pieces of my own now, every time I wear a piece, every time I put it on, it really makes me feel connected to the artisans and to women all over the world who have hope for a better life. And so what I realize about the work of a compassionate entrepreneur is that every single piece matters. Every single event matters. Every single time that you connect the work of an artisan to someone in their life one way or the other, that it truly matters. And it's not taken for granted. And so, the different pieces that I have and the different experiences I've had with Trades of Hope, with the compassionate entrepreneurs, and with the artisans is truly unique that way. And that's what I love about this community. I think 2018 gave us some really beautiful opportunities. We made a fantastic change in the compensation plan for our compassionate entrepreneurs to really recognize CEs that are passionate about bringing the artisan's work into the lives of other people. And so just advocating sales alone and being able to be recognized for your effort in sales more than ever before is one of those changes. Empowering a CE to reach a goal of 300 in sales and be recognized for that effort, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute, is another, I think, really beautiful way to wrap our arms around more compassionate entrepreneurs who want to contribute and grow. And then this new compensation plan really was designed to empower and recognize the compassionate entrepreneur kind of in the middle of the plan, the real heart of everything. And so I love that those changes were made, and I think they were important to the company overall. So that's kind of what's unique. Unique in the way that the pieces of that the artisans are creating remind us of them every day, and unique in the way that we've expanded the opportunity and the compensation plan to reward and recognize the compassionate entrepreneurs for their brave and courageous work every day. So what's magical? I think what's magical is that there's this collaborative contribution to the collective good that every compassionate entrepreneur is a part of. And so the way I look at this, and it was interesting, is I was having a conversation with Melissa Patchett recently as we were talking about, how do we do better? How do we do more? How do we help more than we ever have before? And what we realized is that when a compassionate entrepreneur makes a commitment to reach her $300 in sales, that what she's really doing is that she's helping sustain the work and the commitment that we have to our artisans now. And so it's such a beautiful thing and such an important thing to celebrate when a compassionate entrepreneur takes and makes the effort to reach that goal of 300 in sales, because that allows Trades of Hope to sustain the work and the commitments that we have to all of the artisans. The second is, we have compassionate entrepreneurs that want to reach beyond that. And, maybe they have a goal of 1,000 or whatever their goal is beyond the 300, that every time that happens, every month that happens, it allows Trades of Hope to take the relationships that they've built and, the little groups of artisans in the countries that they're working in, and not only sustain it, but grow it and tell them, we can bring on more work. We can expand this little opportunity that you've created. And I think that that's such a beautiful thing to see happen. And I think the third thing that can happen is that when a compassionate entrepreneur sees it in her heart to invite and expand her team, another compassionate entrepreneur, and grow in her leadership and kind of sense build her tribe, that what she's then done beyond what she can do personally is she's expanded and created the opportunity for expansion of Trades of Hope. So I think I was really amazed at how, Trades of Hope might have started with just a core group of compassionate entrepreneurs and maybe had a few artisans that they were impacting. But as I was talking to Gretchen recently, it's just amazing to me now with the, several thousand women who are compassionate entrepreneurs are impacting the lives and the opportunities for artisans in, I think, over 19 countries now. And so that is something that really spoke to my heart. And I felt like if we could do one really important thing this year to focus on, it would be that idea of expanding, that idea of rising to inspire more women here in the United States to help us expand the work that we're doing. So not just sustaining is a beautiful thing that we do, and we have so many artisans that rely on it. But what if we could grow in the places that we are, and then expand to more places than we ever have been? So I hope that it's in your heart to become a vital part of the collective contribution that every compassion entrepreneur is making as we set out to, create something really unique for the women and the children and the families all over the world, and that you see it in your heart to become and to pledge to become an important part of that expansion. So we're going to grow this Compassion Entrepreneur Tribe, and not only to sustain the women who rely on us now, but to expand our outreach to women who are waiting to have that freedom and that safety and that dignity and the self-esteem and just the honorable opportunity to give their children a better life. And that's something I want to be a part of. That's something that I'm definitely committing to all of you to be a part of as we rise to inspire. And so I want to invite you to join me in a very special experience that we're creating. And we're going to actually call it Rise to Inspire. And so the purpose of this is to create a community, kind of a collective force of compassionate entrepreneurs who want to help expand the work of Trades of Hope by expanding their own individual tribes. And that's the real purpose of this group that we're going to put together called Rise to Inspire. Our plan is to run Rise to Inspire for 6 months. So we're going to start it on January 21st, which is actually Martin Luther King Day, kind of a beautiful day to begin. Somebody who's so wonderfully represented freedom and hope around the world. So on January 21st, that Monday, we're going to officially launch a group. And then we're going to run it to July 21st, which is the Sunday of our Inspire event this year. So perfect timing for that. And we're going to join together. I'm going to join together with other leaders within Trades of Hope and literally pour our best into sharing tips and tools and the wisdom on how you can find and connect and sponsor and help your team grow. So we're going to use a new experience that we've been testing out for a couple of months. I know a lot of you have been involved in that, so thank you for that. And we're going to be, so within the group, we're also going to have what we like to call a sneak peek into Trades of Hope. So that's a special event. They'll be hosted by various leaders. Many of you will be contributing as well. But what we want to do is create a fun and kind of low pressure, but really meaningful story around the Trades of Hope mission, around what it means to be a compassionate entrepreneur, and to let that unfold coming from the lives of a lot of different women who are in this business with us now, and speaking to a lot of women who are looking for this kind of a mission and cause-driven opportunity. So that's what the Rise to Inspire group will be. What is your commitment? So your commitment to be in the group is fairly simple, in that it starts by you helping one compassionate entrepreneur. From January 1st, we're going to look for one compassionate entrepreneur, and as soon as you've done that, you're going to receive an invitation to be welcome into our group. And we'll be building this group week by week, and you're going to learn how to share and invite and participate in our sneak peeks among all the other tools and ideas, and how to have really great conversations, and how to bring the compassionate entrepreneurs into your tribe in a way that you really feel good about and proud of. And so that's the one thing I want to invite you to. We're going to talk a little bit about that more. But to kick this time off together, I prepared a little exercise for all of you. So I'm going to introduce the exercise, and then I'm going to take a little pause, and I'll come back after you've had some time to enjoy it with each other. And so it's really, the idea here is to create a simple and thoughtful exercise that you're going to do together and share together, and that's going to provide a few opportunities to think about what matters to you, and to plan for the future a little bit, and even to mastermind with each other some ideas that'll help you take action. So some of you that might have come to Inspire had, I worked on a little bit of a project called the One-Page Business Plan. We had a little short time to do it. We're going to be able to do something like that, but really focused now on how we can grow and how we can expand. So I'm going to show that to you in a second. And then from the One-Page Business Plan, we're going to work on an action plan. I'm going to share some ideas with you around that. And so let me just do that now. So you should have, your hostess should have some handouts for you to share, and maybe she'll do that in just a second. But the first thing is the One-Page Business Plan. And so what I'd love for you guys to do just as a group, just to kind of have a great conversation, is to share and go around the group and share, what have you loved, learned, and achieved in 2018? This is something that I do every year as I close out the years. I just kind of have a lot of gratitude, even around some of the hard things, the struggles I've had and what I learned from them, some of the things that I've loved that have just filled my heart, the things that I enjoy the most, and some of the things that I've achieved. So I'd love for you guys to take a little time in the group as we pause to talk about that. And then second to that, what would you most want to achieve in 2019 with Trees of Hope? So you might have a goal that's around, the size of your business or the size of your tribe, or that you'd like to get the message out to more people. Whatever it is that you feel kind of a real calling in your heart around your work as a compassionate entrepreneur, what would you like to achieve in 2019 that we can all celebrate a year from now? And I know a little bit earlier, Chelsea had you do an exercise around daring to dream. And this is just taking this to an action plan. So what I've done here is I've just created 4 little areas where you can think. For 2019, after you've done this group discussion, come back to this worksheet. And in 2019, think about the collective, compassionate contribution you want to make. And so one of the things I learned, or I at least felt in my heart when I spent time with the leaders last year, was that there was this common bond. There was this sense of sisterhood, of locking arms together, even though each and every one of them were so beautifully different and in many ways called with different talents and abilities. There was definitely this sense that there's this collective work that's happening, this collective desire to do more and to not just sustain the relationships and the opportunities we've created, but to expand them and to reach out to women and children and families who are literally waiting for us. So I'm asking a few questions and you're just getting to kind of decide what your number is. So I want to support our artisans with a certain number or more in monthly sales to sustain our efforts and grow their opportunities in 2019. So just give that some thought. As the year unfolds, what would you like that to be? The second is I want to welcome a certain number of new compassionate entrepreneurs to my team. And in this case, I'd love it to be every month because I'd love us to see our ability to expand month upon month in the work that we do with artisans. So, and together we will help expand our artisan community with new opportunities around the world. So what would you like that to be? And the third is I want to have a certain number or more team members join me in the Rise to Inspire group so that we can master new skills and growth and leadership together. So how many compassionate entrepreneurs would you like to have join us in the group over the next 6 months? Hopefully all of the ones that join your team as well. And then last, but certainly equally as important, is I want to come to Inspire 2019 with how many or more team members so that we can connect, learn, laugh, and celebrate together. And I think this is just kind of laying a foundation for your hopes and dreams for the year to come and how you'd like to contribute to the collective work that we're all going to do together. And I hope you're feeling that as you're sitting, with each other in these homes and venues across the country, realizing that this is happening in the hearts and dreams of compassionate entrepreneurs just like you. All over the United States. So the second thing is we're going to take that and take it a level deeper into an action plan. So this is where you get to mastermind as a group. And you can see I kind of filled mine out here. But in your action plan, what I'd really love for you to do is come out of this event together with some solid ideas that you share with each other, maybe best practices, maybe things you'd like to try but you haven't yet. This is a good time to share them out with each other and get some thoughts and ideas to even make it better than it might be. But what I wanted to do is take 4 little areas that you could grow and develop yourself and your skills and that could become an action plan and see some results for you. So the idea here is to take each one of these 4, share it in the group, and you guys share ideas. But just to kind of get you kickstarted, I thought I'd share some of them that I came up with, just to get kind of your minds thinking in that direction. So the first one says 5 ideas to help me reach my monthly sales goal to support our artisans. So the first one I have is, and I think a lot of you are already doing this, but make it special and think in 2019, how can I even make it more special for someone to be my customer or hostess, whether that's a VIP group, whether that's, how you lead them into a hosting event or coming out of a hosting event, or, just as the year unfolds, how can you make those customers feel incredibly special? The second is to have a calendar of vendor events. So a lot of times I think you kind of get into like a vendor event pattern where you do the same ones because they work really well, which is great. But how could you expand this year? Maybe there are opportunities to try some new vendor events, or to do ones you haven't done before, and just kind of experience some new opportunities to be out there and share with each other what some of those events are and how they worked and why they worked well. This is a great venue for you guys to do that. The third one I have is to schedule online parties. You guys are getting better at that every day. I've seen them and they're so much fun. So think about, how many will I have? If I have them kind of in my goal for the month, how am I going to have them be super successful? Share ideas there. Book special occasion events with your hostesses. So, even if you look throughout the year, whether it's the release of a new catalog or new line, or it's some kind of a special, or it's, Mother's Day is coming up. I know that's a big time for everyone, but think in advance now and look at the year and think, how could I create some special events maybe that I've never done before? And the fifth I put is to create a personal shopper service. This is something I would really love. And to, just as an idea, like, how do you become the personal shopper for busy women, or busy moms, busy working women, and to have them share a shopper list for the year, and you just become the person that steps in and helps them pick things out and get things taken care of. That might just be a few ideas around monthly sales and reaching your monthly sales, but I would love for you guys to extend beyond that in your group. The second one, 5 ideas to help me find and connect with new potential CEs. So the first one I started is to really simply just start a potential CE list. We call it the PCE list. So potential compassion entrepreneurs, who's curious? And I think that causes, just starting the list causes you to start to be more aware and listen for those needs that women are expressing, whether it's a need to be a part of something, whether they're lonely, whether they want to add some income doing something they love. It just, when you start the list and when you're constantly thinking about who's curious, you actually start hearing it more often. The second is to create a why I am a compassion entrepreneur story. If you don't have one, start writing it and ask for a buddy to help you, or share it in your group when you're together right now. How would you answer the question? Why are you a compassion entrepreneur? Why did you choose to do this work? And get really clear about that, so you can share that story more effectively. The third is post about creating a community of like-minded women. So even if you're on social, I think just posting the idea of how much you love surrounding yourself with like-minded women, or women who have a real desire to serve a cause and a mission and to serve other women around the world. So create some more posts around that. Visit with women in demanding jobs was my number 4 idea, who want to change. So, whether the woman is in a job that she loves, but it's super demanding and she doesn't really have a plan beyond that, or just that she's in a situation where she wants some more fulfillment in her work. I think the idea of visiting with women in demanding jobs is a really good way to start having those conversations. My 5th idea is include the idea of being a compassion entrepreneur in every event you do. So what are ways that you do that? Whether it's at a vendor event, or it's, something you're doing in a Facebook online party, or whether you're doing an event with a hostess, ask yourself, how can I include the idea of being a compassion entrepreneur in every event that I do this year? So I'd love for you to also share how did you find the teammates that you have? How did you build the tribe you have? And even if you're a new beginner, this is, I think, a great way to start a list that is going to help you start to build your tribe. 5 ideas to help me share the Trades of Hope opportunity. So once you've found them and you've found ways to connect with them, how can you share Trades of Hope? So the first is to share a video link, simply to share one of the beautiful videos created about the artisan stories. And I think that's a great beginning, and I've seen a lot of compassionate entrepreneurs do that so beautifully. The second is to invite them to our new sneak peeks that we'll be running. So as you're a part of the Rise to Inspire group, you're going to have this wonderful event that we run throughout the month, and it'll be run by various leaders. And it's just a super way for you to not have to know how to tell the story perfectly, but to tell somebody that's curious, a woman that's curious, that you'd love for her to kind of do this discovery process with you in this safe and no pressure sneak peek event. And so that's another way. You can arrange a discovery call with one of your leaders. So, just say, I might not have all the answers since I'm just getting started, or I know you might have some questions, and I'd love for you to to be on a call together with a partner I have in this business or a leader that I work with. And so we can get your questions answered. I think I do a lot of those myself. And host a Facebook watch party. So Facebook watch parties are fairly new, but it's a fun way for just to take a video you already have that's about a CE story, or a video that might be coming out of one of the sneak peeks that you really love, and just share it. And as soon as you share it as a watch party, you're going to have people jumping in to take a look, and you'll be able to add kind of your thoughts, maybe your story about why you're a compassionate entrepreneur. But what these are just ways to tell the story, so you don't have to tell the story perfectly all the time, but you have resources and tools to do that together with you. The last is, so share ideas around. How can you share the story? How can you tell the story of Trades of Hope? And the last of the 4 is 5 ideas to help you invite and welcome your new CEs. So one of the things about building your tribe and welcoming somebody new is you want to feel really confident that you can lead them well. And that's hard to do when you're just starting out, or maybe you haven't done it before, or maybe you feel like you're still just leading yourself. And that's absolutely okay. I want to share some ideas, and I would love for you to share with each other some ideas of how you can create a wonderful experience for a new CE to join your tribe. And so use a post, like a post sneak peek questionnaire. So once I've had somebody go to a sneak peek and learn about Trades of Hope, have a little questionnaire, just a few questions to ask, like what was it about the things that you learned or saw or read in our sneak peek that mattered the most to you. Might be just a simple question that I would ask. But have a little questionnaire, and you guys could talk together today about what would be on that questionnaire. Invite to the next welcome call. So a lot of what I do is I know you've been kind of sitting on the idea. I'd love for you to join us in the welcome call where we welcome new CEs. So you can get a little bit better feel about what it means once you've joined to become a CE. Introduce them to the team. So that's another thing I do when any new compassionate entrepreneur is I would welcome them to the team with a photograph and let them feel kind of the love from the tribe that they've joined. Have a simple and fun first steps call with them is another way to bring a CE on board with confidence, and just ask a lot of questions and hear what their hopes and dreams are and what they'd like to do. And then set a date and help them launch. Those are probably some of the most important things. But what I'd love for you guys to do in this time together is talk about how would you like the experience for a new compassionate entrepreneur be when she comes into your team. And there gives you some ideas, and these ideas can build some confidence. So those are 4 things that I think would really be fun for all of you to mastermind together. And if you have a little extra time as we pause here, I'd love for you, I gave you a couple of bonus group discussions, and that is, how will I get to inspire and who will I bring with me? So Inspire is really our main coming together event of the year. And it's a time where, any compassionate entrepreneur that's been can really speak to what it means to actually physically be there and to be able to hear directly, touch, feel, hug, and experience Trades of Hope in a way that you sometimes can't when you're home alone, or you can't in a small group. And so it's our way to kind of fill our cups back up and learn together and laugh and cry together and do some really important just some important gathering and loving on each other before we go into the busiest season of the year. So I'm hoping that you're coming to inspire and that you find a way to do that and you think about who you want to bring with you. And the last is, what are my map to Guatemala goals for this year? So we're still kind of right in the middle of the map right now. And my hope is in this action plan is that you guys have a little bit of extra time to talk about that. So those are a couple of exercises. And I think what we'll do now is we'll just take a pause and let you enjoy this time together. And I'll be back in just a few minutes to wrap this up. Okay, so it's so good to be back. I hope that the room was full of laughter and sharing and ideas, and that you just really lifted each other up in this time. Before I close in this time together, I asked a few of our leaders to share their ideas and wisdom around building your tribe. They all have such a heart for this work, and I know that they see the real vision for the growth of Trades of Hope and for the work we do with artisans as being directly tied to our ability to welcome more women into the community of compassionate entrepreneurs. And that it's that effort that is really going to be such a beautiful focus for us this year. So I'd like you to hear from them.
Hey Compassionate Entrepreneurs, it's Jess Argetsinger, and I just wanted to share a little bit about my feedback and experience with doing some new CE opportunity events with my team the last couple months. So we have been doing these events called Vision of Hope, a peek into the compassionate entrepreneur experience. And basically these are events that we've done on Facebook, and over the course of several days, we post some testimonies, and leaders and different people that are active in their businesses are going live and sharing some of their stories, which honestly has been super encouraging to me, even in my own walk as a CE, to hear, you know, just the power of our stories, because we obviously know that a story has power. And it's been super encouraging just to our own team to hear from others. But then it's been a great low pressure way to invite, you know, hostesses or guests or people that even in our own families, like those that might be new CEs, that we can just invite, you know, those that are curious about what we're doing, just to learn a little bit more about, you know, our work and things that we kind of hope to aspire and achieve, and just to hear, you know, what the truth is behind this business and what we're doing. So that's been really cool just to witness in this short time that we've been doing these. But again, we know, you know, it's so important for us to have these types of events or to offer them to others to learn, because, you know, if a new person is coming in, it is kind of scary to ask somebody to join when you're like, I didn't really know what I'm getting into, but, you know, I think you should join me in this, which totally many of us have done that. So I'm not going to discredit that at all, because it's great just to have people like, hey, we're going to learn together, we're going to run together. But this is a cool way that, you know, those new people that are coming into our sisterhood and into our teams, they're getting a chance to really hear from those that have been experienced or been around for a little bit of a while. And, you know, to hear again, like I said, those stories and those testimonies, there's really a lot of power in that and to that, and credibility that comes with that for somebody that's new in the business and in the field. So that's been another benefit to having them. And I really honestly love getting to see some of those that are active and engaged in their businesses, especially some leaders that are rising up, to give them more opportunities to share, because, you know, sometimes we kind of get used to hearing the same voices, and I love that this can really broaden that and really reach and teach others from so many different walks of life and different demographics. And I think that's really vital to what we're doing, because, you know, we have to remember that we do all have power. There is power in our voice. But what happens when we can multiply those voices, when we can amplify them, that's when the real world change happens. You know, we are casting those stones, we're making those ripples, but let's not just do ripples. We're working and looking for tidal waves of change that are going to help strengthen our businesses, our livelihoods, but ultimately those of our artisans and the whole collective of Trades of Hope.
Hello, hello, world changers. Happy 2019. We're finally here in this amazing new year. And I'm actually home for the holidays. So I'm actually recording this while I'm home for Christmas on the holidays. You can see I'm actually in my bedroom where I was born and raised. Well, I mean, not literally born in this room, but you can kind of see a quick sneak peek. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about another thing that we're doing in Trades of Hope. It's actually a sneak peek of our company. And so it's kind of like an event that we used to do in the past, where I used to call it actually Crave. We're going to be moving into more of a platform of a group where you can invite women around the country that want to learn more about Trades of Hope, get a little bit sneak peek into the business world of it, and learn a little bit more about it. We're not going to tell them everything. We don't need to go dig in my closets and my drawers and everything else, learning, pull out the old yearbooks, a little bit too much. It's just a group that we're able to offer information, feature some lives, showcase a little bit of the business opportunity in our beautiful sisterhood of Trades of Hope, and you have the opportunity to invite women to the event/group. So it'll look a little bit like this. So like, let's say you go to a party and you're at a party and somebody's like, I love what you do. Do you freeze? And maybe, or do you like decide to tell them way too much information? Yeah, either one. We have an amazing opportunity for you to be able to invite these women to these groups on Facebook where they can learn a little bit more about what we're doing at Trades of Hope. And so it's a little bit, takes a little bit off of your plate, where if there's a bunch of us in that group and we're inviting women in and saying, hey, take a look at this. It's a little quick sneak peek of what the company has to offer. It's an amazing way to share what we're doing, and it doesn't put so much pressure on you. Maybe at a party, maybe you're not sure how to respond, and we really want to come alongside you and help you this year. We found that when we did these in the past, they really worked. The momentum worked, and it was really fun. But sometimes when we only did it for like a day or two, it was like over. So now we're going to do a group and see if it helps with you inviting women even daily, once or twice a month, anytime in that month, so they can become a part of what we're doing at Trades of Hope. So I would let you in on a little bit more of a sneak peek of my bedroom from when I was little. But then that would be telling you everything. That wouldn't be showing you what a sneak peek really is. So that's what a sneak peek of our new events are going to be on Facebook for Trades of Hope. We're super excited about it. I hope you are too. And I hope you start thinking of all these amazing women that you want to invite and share the opportunity, because it's really an amazing opportunity. It's no pressure. It's come and join us. Come and have fun with us. Come and join the sisterhood. We are going to have an amazing year, and I'm super excited to be here. See you soon. Bye.
Hi, Compassionate Entrepreneurs. Erin Woods here. I am so excited to share with you a little bit about a new tool that I've recently created for my team called Ignite Hope with Us Compassionate Entrepreneur Sneak Peek. Now, this is a group on Facebook that I had developed with Milan over the past few months and some of the leaders on my team. And we've been using it as a tool for sponsorship, for sharing the opportunity in a really low stress, easy way with potential compassionate entrepreneurs, women who are interested in being a part of our sisterhood. So it's a group, and I love the group format on Facebook because it doesn't go away like an event. It's always there. Once you add somebody to a group, they can kind of stay as long as they want, stay a long time, stay a little while, whatever their needs are. It's a super easy way to add somebody to get more information about what being a compassionate entrepreneur is all about. In my particular group, there are 6 different posts, and they touch on the different elements of our business, our sisterhood, the sprinkles, like the Smart Start and the give backs, the business side of things, the opportunity and the income side. All of the different facets of our business are found in those 6 posts. And then sprinkled in, we have live videos from compassionate entrepreneurs from our team, just sharing different experiences and just offering different voices to somebody who's wanting to know more about what we're all about. It's been really cool. I've watched people invite new potential compassionate entrepreneurs to the group. I have a welcome post in there, and they can tag them and say, welcome to the sneak peek. Check out these 6 posts, and I'll be following up with you to see what you think. So it's really casual. It's really comfortable. I actually had a gal that joined with me a couple months ago, and she described the group as feeling like a living room, like being in somebody's home, that it felt really warm, it felt really genuine and authentic, and that it really was the tipping point for her to say yes and join us as a compassionate entrepreneur. So that to me was the greatest compliment. It's just an easy, no pressure tool for you to use. My hope and vision for the future, for 2019 and beyond, is that this tool, the Sneak Peek group, which I know other leaders are developing, becomes kind of that permanent go-to tool when somebody says, I want to know more about what you're doing, or can you tell me more about what being a compassionate entrepreneur is all about? You can say, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to add you to this group and you can check it out. My goal as a leader is to continue to develop that space, to kind of refresh it every now and then, take down all the posts and put them up again so it gets some invigoration, and put some new live videos in there, and just continue to use that space to expand our sisterhood and our tribe so that we can impact more lives. So I hope that you are connected with a Sneak Peek group through your leaders, and that you can feel equipped and empowered as a compassionate entrepreneur to sponsor and to grow our sisterhood, because that is ultimately how we change more lives. So let's get started in 2019. Feel equipped, feel empowered, and invite people to your Sneak Peek group. Thanks.
So beautiful messages from amazing women that I have been so honored to be able to work with in this past year. And I feel so excited about their leadership, about the love they have for all of you, and about together what we can do. And my fondest hope is that we all join hearts and pour our effort into creating more opportunities and really impact the lives of women and keep them with their children and inspire them to be able to impact the lives of their collective families and to grow stronger in their confidence and their ability to feel valued and loved and heard. And together, let us truly rise to inspire as many lives as we possibly can, and to give new hope to those who need us. It's such an honor to take this journey with you. And I look so much forward to seeing you as we rise to inspire in the coming year. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed that exercise with the one-page business plan and found it really helpful with your business. Now we have a fun announcement with Jeremy Kunda, our COO, the operations guy. I've known Jeremy since I was about 9 or 10 years old. His family adopted from the orphanage that my mom founded in Haiti, 3 Angels. And so he has a really strong heart for this mission, and it's an honor to work alongside him.
Thank you, Elizabeth. So, as Elizabeth said, the Map to Guatemala, we are so excited about it. We've been seeing so many of you hitting these new levels and just going through it, and we are sending out tons of these prizes. So that is awesome. Most of these prizes coming from our artisans they're getting more work. They're having a great time with this as well. We're super excited about it. So one of the things that we wanted to do, we want to make sure and see you there. We cannot wait for this trip. It's going to be amazing. So we like to throw in from time to time what we call sprinkles. That's what we call them around here. And it took me a while to get used to that, but hey, we like it, right? Who doesn't like sprinkles? So as part of that, we're changing up a little bit one of the prize awards. And what that is right now, when you sponsor 3 CEs and you get them to QCE level, you get a $100 cash award into your e-wallet as a travel bonus, but really you can use that for whatever you want to use it for. But anyway, we hope you use it for the travel bonus to see us there. But we're going to change that a little bit. Now, when you sponsor 3 CEs and you get them to QCE during this Map to Guatemala period, I'm going to hit that little button and we're going to give you 1,000 PRV bonus points towards your map progress. 1,000 bonus PRV points towards your map. Nothing that you have to do any different. You just fill out that same form that you've been filling out. We're going to put that in on your map points. We're even going to take that back. So those of you that already hit it, guess what? You're getting the 1,000 PRV as well. So it's going to be great. Keep making your way through the map. We want to meet up there in Guatemala and see every one of you. I would love to. I know Elizabeth would too. So yeah, let's have fun with that. Keep it going.
One of my best hostess coaching tips is to send them a couple messages that they can send out to their friends. I usually send them one that's product-based and one that's mission-based. And then they can kind of choose which one fits their friend's connection to Trades of Hope. So the mission one might say something like, I know you really love helping women in poverty, and there's this amazing company I'm going to be hosting this party. I hope you can come.
So, quick tip on getting RSVPs, because those are sometimes the most elusive for our hostesses, because they don't want to feel uncomfortable asking their friends, hey, are you going to come already? So what I tell my hostesses to do is the day before the party, just make a quick phone call or even shoot a quick text saying, hey, I'm just planning the food. I wanted to know if you're bringing a friend. That way they get the RSVP, but it's not a, hey, you didn't ever tell me if you were coming or not kind of vibe. So it's a just much more light and easy and fun way to get those RSVPs.
When talking to your hostess, be sure to use terms like we, us, and team. It makes her feel like you're in it together, and at no point is she on her own to try to make this happen. She'll feel more confident, and therefore you'll have a better party.
Hey World Changers, my number one hostess coaching tip is keep it personal. Have your hostesses personally reaching out to their guests via text or messenger, letting them know what Trades of Hope is about and why they want you to come to their party. Personal connection is key to having good parties. So encourage your hostess those personal reach outs and personal follow-up for all those last minute orders.
The number one hostess tip I can give you is to know your hostess's why. Is she having a party to get friends together? Because she wants to spread the mission? Because she wants some free products? Get to know your hostess's why and serve her well by helping her reach her goals, and your party will be amazing.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun for us to do with all of you. And we are so happy that so many of you get to connect with your sisters in homes around the country. I know the energy of being in a room with so many like-minded, world-changing women is so motivating. We're so glad so many of you participated and were able to meet new sisters. This is such an incredible God journey that we are on to change lives. Ours, yours, and our artisans. What a win-win for all of us. Our artisans are rooting for you in your business. They often tell us to thank you for giving them a voice and sharing their stories. You're doing more than selling jewelry and home decor. You are changing the trajectory of people's lives now and for generations to come. Remember, women are being empowered out of brothels because of your commitment and your work. So when you're putting in orders and setting up parties and something doesn't go exactly the way you thought it was supposed to, remember that because of what you do, mamas are keeping their babies. You've been prayed into this company, and we're praying for this new year that it will be successful for you and our artisans.
We have loved learning and growing with you, and we know this is going to be your best year yet. The impact you are making on our artisans has changed their lives forever. Women like Vina in India can now support their children and afford to send them to school for the very first time. Women like Nenya, whose husband died and left her to raise 4 children by herself, is now fully supporting her family and empowered as a single mom. You are directly impacting these beautiful lives all over the world. You did this. Because of your bravery to wake up and do the work, lives are changed. I know the work might not always feel life-changing and ground-shaking. Sometimes it feels like leaving a messy house to answer emails instead. Sometimes it feels like you're showing up when your knees are knocking, and sometimes it feels like being vulnerable when you want to run and hide instead. But because of your everyday decisions, your unseen actions, your courageous perseverance, you have changed another life, another family, another child, and the futures of women all over this world. And we can't wait to see the impact you will make in 2019.
Because of you, lives will be changed around the world like never before this year. It's a privilege and an honor to partner with strong women who have overcome some of this world's darkest moments. These are women who are resilient, unwavering, and unyielding in their fight for hope and justice. They advocate bravely, often not for their own futures, but for the futures of their family and community. And I believe in their strength and endurance as they show up to our partnership day after day to make our products. I've seen it with my own eyes. Miss Florence in Uganda, who carries the weight of her business, caring for children who aren't even hers, employing a community, constantly dreaming of how to help more people, and she does it all with songs of joy and praise always on her lips. Alia and Jordan pulled strength and love and independence from her work while fighting for her children's custody and won, which is unheard of in Jordan. Ilma from Guatemala went from being a girl in need on the street to an international businesswoman, jumping on flights to Orlando and Chicago and New York City for business meetings. I even got dinner with her at John's Pizza off of Times Square a few months ago, and I was in awe of how much she has accomplished. I believe in the women that we partner with every day at Trades of Hope, and I can't wait to spend 2019 showing up for them so that they can rise out of poverty.
Thank you to everyone who contributed to this event. A special thank you to today's host. Thank you for organizing a place to meet and even inviting people into your homes. We really want to thank each of you who participated as well. What you are doing at Trades of Hope, it is important. And these partnerships that we have with our artisans, it's really a gift. I am blown away that God allows each of us to all work together, not only to grow a business, but also every day we get to empower each other. I love the quote, "A rising tide lifts all boats." I believe that 2019 is going to be a year of swelling tides. It is going to be a year of growth and abundance for Trades of Hope and the artisans. And we pray that it will be for you too. I'm not using abundance just regarding finances, but I believe that there will be an abundance of so many people really in desperate places that are finding jobs because of Trades of Hope. So many more women will be able to care for their children. So many more people will come out of bond slavery and even the sex industry. I believe many more women, just like you and I, and all of us, they will find purpose and fulfillment in serving others through Trades of Hope. There are thousands of women waiting outside gates, wanting, needing jobs. And there are thousands of women across the United States who are wanting jobs, but also needing purpose and fulfillment that really only comes from helping others. I know God has a great plan for Trades of Hope, and I'm so thankful that each of you are a part of that plan.
Oh my gosh, we should do a blooper in it.
So is it okay, like,
Mom,
really
you're always
looking
the
right
star.
there? It will look really good at the camera.
Now, Emily, do it again.
And here's a fun announcement about our map to Guatemala.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I went blank.
Once we get a couple of new no, I'm so good, I'm doing so good.
Now, Emily confidently wears our Trade to Hope Day.
Take it away, Milan.
I don't know about that.
Look, I know I'm a tough act to follow.
You are. He's just so smooth with that.
This came out this year in Marketplace and was such a favorite, we added it to the catalog. The catalog. Whoa! Come on, folks.
Literally, when I was talking, I'm going like this.
See right arms?
Yeah.
One of our highly anticipated spring wine. They make these bracelets with you with so much. I started improvising and it wasn't good.
It's a rose gold collection.
You said something about being cold, I think.
My shoes are so
little mop it up. Oh, she can see. Oh. And he has a really fun announcement about the mop.
Mops.
Mops!
We're getting mops. New mops for the cleaning closet.
Branded. They're TOH
Branded.
teal.
TOH MOPs.
So come join us on this.
Okay.
I feel like a little evil sometimes, like.
Bye.
I was holding that back. There better be a blooper reel. And I want to see mops on the blooper reel. Okay. Let's do that one more time.